Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen Scarlet Pimp, Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast, maybe, with a character analysis, part 3 of P-Valley, episode 1, Perpetratin. And in this video, part 3, we will be focusing on the group for Uncle Clifford. Yes, Uncle Clifford, the who is in charge of the gals, honey, the gals. And he is he, she, they. Clifford, to my understanding, is trans slash non-gender binary, could also be considered androgynous. So as I've heard them respond, both the actor and the character respond to both he, she, and they, I will refer to them as he, she, and they, just so we're clear, getting the disclaimer out the way. They are represented by this rainbow leopard beanie boo by the name of Dottie, and immediately off their figurine here, we get unique and mythical. It's giving unicorn, mermaid types of vibes. It is giving rare occurrence type of vibes, and it is giving extremely unique and liberated, independent types of vibes. Okay, very much so like Uncle Clifford. For those of you who may or may not know, if you need a little intro, you might want to tune into part 1 of this particular segment, the character analysis for episode 1. You might want to tune into part 1 just to see a bit of the background information. However, we are introduced to Clifford. Well, when Autumn walks into the club, we hear Clifford's voice. Now, we could easily just assume at first glance that this is just a hype person that is, responsible for keeping the crowd going and such in the club, okay? But then, when Mr. Pervy gets thrown out for trying to fill up on Mercedes in the VIP room, is that the VIP room? I believe so. That man is thrown out. I'm sorry. That perv is thrown out, and we see Clifford coming out, fanning themselves, okay, talking they shit, okay, and the cop pulls up and checks them like, hey, old boy look drunk, y'all ain't got no license, y'all ain't supposed to have tits and liquor up in here. That is against the law, that is against regulation. We can shut y'all down. So Clifford hands the cop plates, a to-go plate, honey, filled with money, okay? And Mr. Copper goes on back about his business, okay? So that was our first introduction to Clifford, okay? And they have them, I go into more detail on that on the review. So baby, come back and tune in to the actual review that I will be doing on the episodes, okay? Anywho, Clifford's name literally is referenced to a cliff. The name Clifford in general is in reference to actual cliffs that surround and or lead to bodies of water. So like the cliff of a waterfall could be considered what the name Clifford refers to. At the river bound, at the river bay, the river crossing, the river crossing, yes, those types of cliffs. So given watery flow, the elements, okay, is definitely water is it concerns over here, which deals with flow, which deals with acceptance, which deals with emotions, and also flexibility and the balance of masculine and feminine energy, which of course Clifford is definitely a symbol of, obviously. Let's get into the song that I intuitively chose for Uncle Clifford, okay? The song that I intuitively chose for Clifford is Louder. I got the power by Big Frida. The song is Louder. And honey, if you ever just need a pick me up, something to shake a little leg to, something to bounce a little shoulder to, child, that is the perfect song to turn up and just get all your life, okay? Okay, every time I walk up in the room, we gonna read the significance of this song as it concerns Clifford, and also it will give some indication as to why you are so drawn to Clifford and how you can use some of these messages for yourself. Child. Okay, so we have Trick Rider at the Fernando Circus. And we have the bedroom. I'm gonna start off with this one. We have the number 4 on here, which definitely gives manifestation vibes, destiny, okay? Referring to basically not just visualizing and daydreaming your goals and dreams into fruition, but actually doing the work, being brave, going your own way, doing the work and stepping out into the energy of emergence and showing the world who you are and what you got, which definitely encompasses the song, okay? Every time I walk up in the mug room, I make heads turn and they mind go boom, okay? Shake so hard, big faces need a boom. Okay. So yes, it's a need to get like this. And some of you probably already have it, to be honest. This peacocking type of energy where you just walk in and you just know that you just shit. You just know that you the shit, regardless of what anybody got to say or regardless of what anybody is doing, honey. You do you. You do what you do, okay? Which is definitely what Clifford gives. Howsoever, as it refers to the bedroom itself, it's talking about getting out of the house, stepping out of the bedroom, stepping out of your comfort zone, child. Some of y'all are probably like keeping yourself gilded, keeping yourself in hermit mode because you're like, it's like tired of fighting is what I'm hearing. And also just tired of ridicule and criticism, tired of people trying to nitpick you apart, find something, anything to say about you in a negative manner. Surrounded by so many people that want to point out your flaws, but then also at the same time rarely want to give you any praise or applause for the things that you succeed at and for the things that you are good at, okay? There's a lot of people wanting to like ego bust you and pick out all of your flaws and all of the things that they don't understand about you, okay? And so this is going back to needing to get into the frequency of emergence, needing to redirect your energy and also remove yourself from toxic cycles and toxic environments, okay? The full name of this, Trick Rider at the Fernando Circus. So that is giving me and then the number on here is 6 also, and the color is red on there as well. So it's giving some root chakra vibes. You're not trusting yourself and you're not trusting your environment either. You're not trusting the people that are surrounding you. You don't trust them to not hurt you you don't trust them to not hurt you one way or another. And there is some escapism. That's funny, because I keep hearing references of people in this group possibly needing to watch certain parts of Autumn's video. That's interesting. But there are certain parts in Autumn's reading that came up about escapism. But this is escapism. Y'all's experience of escapism is a bit different. Y'all's experience of escapism is more so in the way of daydreaming. Like I said, and now I'm hearing the song Daydreaming too. Daydreaming. Found you sleeping in the flowers for a couple of hours. That's the song that came to mind. So there is a lot of daydreaming. Don't get me wrong, I do feel like y'all are putting in the work, much like we see Clifford put it in the work. He goes to work every night, busts his ass for himself and his girls, and this, that, and the third. Okay, so it's like y'all are doing some things that y'all need to do, but there's a need to pump up the volume. There's a need to get louder about your power, about what you want, about what you need and what you want for yourself and for your divine path, child. Okay, so some other things came up. I'm gonna save them for the other questions that we have here. Outside of the song, we have a symbolism read, and this will focus on Couture Hall's intent and purpose behind creating Clifford, and this will also give you some indication of why you are drawn to them, in certain ways that y'all have in common. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so we have medicine man or woman, which I find so interesting. Especially being the fact that it says medicine man or woman. I feel like that is intentional. I feel like that is also understanding a balance and a duality of men and women, and masculine and feminine energy needing to come together in order to be great, in order to be at its greatest form. Also giving that hand holds a dream catcher. Some of you probably get messages through your dreams, but also we see Uncle Clifford, even in just episode 1, act as a both mother and father type of figure to the gals. Okay, we see him tending to Miss Mississippi, consoling her and consulting with her. We see them be tender with her, and also exhibit out her some tough love as well when she is telling Miss Mississippi, like, you letting this man fuck up your bag, you letting this man fuck up your career, like, what are you really trying to do with yourself? Like, really talking to her on some, like, want more for yourself, because this man obviously don't give a fuck about you if he don't give a fuck enough not to fuck up the one thing that is making you money, child, that is getting you ahead in life right now. Not saying that that's the only thing that she got, but she ain't got enough to be up here letting some man bust her in the eye. She can't get no tips like that. Okay, just say it. And you know, if you're dealing with a situation like that, light, love, and healing to you and liberation to you, definitely be patient and forgiving with yourself, and definitely do whatever you feel is necessary to get out of it, and seek therapy, definitely. And also with it being said, I'm sorry if I keep touching this mic, child. But also with it being said, it goes into Uncle Clifford being a healing spirit. And it's interesting also because when Uncle Clifford is on screen, they are such a very like dominant presence, but in the most refreshing way. The emotional depth that the actor brings to Uncle Clifford is something that is so warm and bubbly and also relatable all at the same time. It is definitely inspiring and aspiring, okay? Which would be the functionality or the aura of a medicine man or woman. So people probably gravitate towards you a lot to like charge up off of your energy. And this can be a good thing and a bad thing because you could end up attracting in people who are energy vampires that just want to suck and leech off of your energy and leave you feeling drained. And then this could also make people who are crabs in a bucket and misery loves company as people want to nitpick at you because they feel like they can't rise up on your level, so they want to try to pull you down. They want to try to pull you down to theirs. And with that being said, that's where a main lesson and a main symbol for y'all and for Clifford is forgiveness. Is forgiveness, because that's a major part of y'all's life lesson. And as hard as it may be to put together and as much patience with yourself as it would take, there's a need to do it, because when you really gather a great understanding and get to a frequency of forgiveness in a real way, you're able to bring both your masculine and your feminine self, and then both your shadow and your higher self together to function in the best ways possible. Why? Because through releasing judgment of yourself, you then end up being able to release judgment of other people. People are often brought in to show us either what we need to be or give us indication on what we don't need to be. And a lot of the time when we are stuck in dwelling on the past and dwelling on the heartbreak that people have bestowed upon us, it's because it's some part of ourselves that we are judging about ourselves and that we are refusing to forgive about ourselves, even if it's so much as being too nice. If we felt like we were too nice to this person, or we were too nice to these people, or we felt like we're shaming ourselves because we should have known, we were smarter than this, we should have known not to get involved with this person, whatever it is you could be judging yourself about or shaming yourself about concerning how you handle the situation and your accountability for the positions that you ended up in life. It's accountability so that you can move forward in a better way. It's not meant for you to sit and shame yourself. It's an opportunity for you to give yourself permission to be human and evolve. And through giving yourself permission to be human, you're able to gather a better understanding and greater patience, and also in certain degrees a greater fucklessness for other people being human, and also gain a better understanding of grace, because you never know when the grace that you're holding from someone may be the grace that you need later on from someone else or that same person, child. And just because you forgive somebody don't mean that you have to let them back into your life. You still set boundaries. It's just a matter of making peace with what happened and being able to let it go with love and forgiveness, honey. Okay? Okay. I hope that helped. I hope that resonated, child. I hope that resonated. Let's see how Clifford be perpetrating in the spirit of episode 1 that is named Perpetrating. How do Clifford be perpetrating? Now, this will also be an amalgamation of how you be perpetrating. More synchronicities with you and the character. Okay, so for the first card, we got Ace of Wands. Now, this is a good thing, but this also goes back to what I was saying about needing to pump up the volume, about needing to up your stakes, about needing to go smarter. I don't like to say go harder because, you know, people end up making things harder on themselves than they need to be, and you don't need to burn yourself out. It's just a need to reprioritize some things and raise your standards of yourself. Don't punish yourself, but just raise your standards of yourself and like really ask yourself if you're doing everything in your power to get yourself to where you want and need to be. Because a lot of you may be spirits that spend so much time, much like Uncle Clifford, how their time is devoted to lifting the girls up and getting them to the next stepping stone and the next pillars in life and the next levels in life, okay? And while so much time is spent on that, and it's great, it's a blessing, and he enjoys doing it, he still may end up getting to a place sometimes where it's like, but what about me? Everybody else is living their dreams and going on about their life, and I'm still just here, and everybody else is still getting big off of me. But what am I doing for myself? That's the question. What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for yourself? That goes back to what I was saying about redirecting your energy from spending so much time tending to everybody else and encouraging everybody else and worried about everybody else, and redirecting that energy back to your own stuff, back to your own craft, back to your own grind, back to your own career, back to your own path, so that you can start getting big off of yourself, getting lights off of yourself, recharging and rejuvenating and redeeming yourself, okay? Making a name for yourself and not just everybody else having to show for your light, and you constantly being the person that's thanked in everybody's acceptance speeches as opposed to you giving acceptance speeches of your own, or even people stealing your ideas and just stealing your energy and contributions and then not giving you credit for it also, which is something that is very common with black people in general and with people of the LGBT community. They will often come up with things and contribute their artistic ideas and their artistic direction to projects, and then people would just run off with it and not give them credit. Which brings us to this card right here, the Seven of Swords. You all do a great job at maintaining your strut on the sunshine, honey. Maintaining your strut on the sunshine. And what I mean by that is people not being able to knock you off of your pedestal. Certainly not visually. You don't let people see you sweat. You don't let people break you down. You don't let situations hold you back. You don't make excuses. However, because you don't like being the victim, you have a tendency to let things build up sometimes and not really express yourself as you should, or set boundaries as you should, like I said. And a part of, that's where the perpetrating part comes in, because you're not being 100 about how certain things has made you feel. It's okay to not get stuck in a moment or get stuck in negative emotions, but at the same time you have to give yourself time to sit in those emotions and process them and grieve them if you need to, and then purge them through breaking some things in a controlled environment, or writing, or drawing, things of that nature, or dancing, or crying if you need to. Cry if you need to. But yeah, I need to purge those emotions. Even if you if you gotta tell somebody off, you gotta set somebody straight, child, you need to go ahead and do it, so that you can get that up off of you, so that you can start again redirecting your energy, because that's another place where your energy is being taken up at, in being like kind of jaded off of certain things that have happened, and off of certain things that have been said and done to you in the past, or even in the recent present, by certain people. There's a need to do a lot of meditating on your throat, third eye, and crown chakra. And so, for the last little question segment of this particular analysis, what are the divine messages to you through the character Uncle Clifford? What are the divine messages to you through the character Uncle Clifford? Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna talk about this one first. It says lessons and blessings. Lessons and blessings. And there's a watch, what they call it. I can't think of exactly what type of watch that's called, like the actual name for it, but it's a watch, child. So what it just given me, the number 6, angel number 6, angel number 606. There's a need to reflect. There's a need to do a lot of reflecting on some prominent parts of your life, specifically times where you have received awards, or even the slightest bit of praise from someone or somewhere. There's a need to do some reflection upon those times, and do some reflection about how people reacted to your experience, how people treated you during those times. And also a need to do some reflecting upon some relationships, and to jot down the blessings that came from that, and also the lessons that came from that. And some epiphanies will begin to come your way, and you'll gain some greater understanding as to why you had to go through those things, and how those things were meant to shape you up into the person that you are meant to be, into the spirit that you are meant to be. A lot of you are dragging your feet, okay? And there's a bit of fear here. It's like, it kind of goes back to like what I said about everybody not being able to go with you, and you not being able to save everybody. But I got this Tower card, child. And it doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen. I feel like it's not going to be anything bad. It's just something that's really going to tug on your heartstrings that is subject to happen, that is going to practically force you to cut some people off and also uproot your life and move into a different environment, literally for the betterment and for the safety and the health of yourself. It is needed. It is needed. It is needed. It just may be somebody or something turning out in a way that you least expected it, if you will, for some of you. And then for some of you, it is along the lines of being fed up with the stagnation, being fed up with being in your own way. And I'm picking up on something. Being fed up with being in your own way has also made you realize how much other people and other things that don't matter are actually in your way, like literally in your way. And it's just going to be a moment of getting fed up with it and just boot scooting boogieing on to what it is that you need to do in order to be brave and go your own way. So I don't think much else has to be said. After that, I hope it helped. I hope it resonated. I hope that it was enlightening as much as it was entertaining, child. And I hope that y'all will continue to tune in for different shows that I will have coming up, where I do character analysis as well as detailed show review and analysis. Okay, episode per episode. Okay. The next video that I do on P-Valley will be the analytical review of episode 1, Perpetratin. And child, just trying to see like, comment, and subscribe, child. Like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to jump into the description box and follow me on different forms of social media, where I will be posting some other free content, and you can just also see a bit of casuality as it concerns me and who I be and things of that nature. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through. And like I said, I hope y'all continue to come back. Okay, light, love, healing, and liberation to you all. Shalom, Ashray, peace and joy. Bye.